Next, we got Alien Romulus, and this is a film directed by Fede Alvarez. In this film, space colonizers come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe while scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station. This cast, we've got Kaylee Spaney, she's our main character in here. We also got Isabella Merced, Eileen Wu, Archie Renault, David Johnson, and Spike Earn. They make up our crew. We got pretty much 6 people, on this crew in this film, and had a good time with this, man. Like, I think this is kind of cool. This might be our youngest group of people in an Alien film, and which is interesting, man, because I think the background stuff in here is just as interesting to me as what's going on with the main story. We've got a group of young people that are in and of the Weyland-Yutani space colonization system, but I think they're on like a mining facility specifically. And it's interesting. I was thinking about this earlier. It seems like this mining facility might be like the lowest tier of Weyland-Yutani. Like if you look at how the people were living on LV, what was it, 486, in Alien, it looked like a lot brighter in there, a lot cleaner, a lot more hopeful. Like when Newt's parents and stuff were running around that place, it looked like, all right, this planet though looks like this is like the shit job. You know what I'm saying? These mining colonies, everyone's ground down and beat up. And the people that were the adults on that world were looking like the crew of the Nostromo. Like, to me, they're beat up, just wage slaves and just, run down by the job and the corporate. So it seems like these kids, they take it upon themselves to get off of this world. Cause I like that scene too, where our main character is kind of, she's trying to get a pass to get off the world and go out and find her future elsewhere. But at the last minute, they're like, hey, we doubled the quota. So you need, double the, I'm like, yo, all of a sudden it's like, 5 or 6 years you can get out of here, which is crazy.
They pretty much have them like in district service, or pretty much it's just another form of slavery. They got a timeout. You might not have apprentices, but you got a timeout of that area. Being on that planet before you're able to just leave.
I would love to see like a mini series just on how Weyland-Yutani got to where it is, because they're running this planet. I forgot the name of this world. I think it's I forgot what the name of it. Something Jonathan's Sky or something like that. But anyway, they're running this thing like an old factory town back in the day. Like everyone works for the mine or the factory. That they built the housing, they run the stores, and it's just so exploitive and just crazy oppressive. But they see opportunities to get away from this world, and that's how they end up encountering our xenomorph problem. But for the most part, man, I really love this, man. I think it was great in tone. It's probably really closer to the tone of the first Alien film, like leaning more into the horror, the suspense, and the atmosphere. I think the only other one that really nailed that for me is might be people, there's controversy on Alien 3, but I think that is just as bleak and dark and gritty, as an environment that we've ever seen in the Alien universe. And there are some, fan service moments, but I think this thing cooks, man. Like, the casting was just great. The little bits that we get, the little, it's almost like they spoon feed us in each of these films, like the greater operation of Weyland-Yutani and even the xenomorph life. We get a little bit more of that. It just overall just building on to this world in a good way. Even though this is a film that takes place early in the cycle of Alien films, it still adds on to the previous works too. By seeing this, I think you get more insight. Certain things in the films that are dated after this, they get more stuff added to them, just by adding this. If you're going to retread an older film property, this is a good way to do it, especially if you're going to call it a prequel. Like, yeah, man, like, or midquel.
It kind of fits in between Alien and Aliens, right?
Yeah, it's like a midquel. So this is actually, I think, 20 years after the Nostromo. So this is where it fits in the timeline. And which is crazy because this is a wild world, man. I think that was one of the most brilliant things to be introduced in the first film, this aspect of the cryo sleep, which extends things out in really weird and interesting ways in this world. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's not like things stop while you're cryo sleeping. The technology goes on, the company goes on.
Yeah.
The everything.
Travel farther out. One of the things too is they don't really talk about like I guess energy like objects that sail in the ship. Traveling on a spaceship or whatever, space travel, like energy wise, they never bring that up.
I think they're all nukes.
To me, it might not be a problem at all compared to like whoever's in the crew actually surviving trip. Because
they're probably running on some type of nuclear fission reactors, so they're squeezing a lot of power, but it's just the time and really the cryo sleep. The only reason they cryo sleep them because we're talking journeys that like the planet that they're trying to get to is 9 years away. So it's probably easier to cryo sleep them than to have to worry about life support for 9 years, 9 years of oxygen and all that crap,
food and all that stuff.
Yeah, man. So it's always been a interesting world, in my opinion. But another great thing they do, like the set designs, this thing feels alive, bro. Like it's not that super clean stuff. You could tell these places they feel lived in. There's like almost how the early Star Wars films were aged and everything, man. I thought that was brilliant of Lucas to do that. Like in a way, it's not a knock on Star Trek. I still love Star Trek, but everything in that mug is like pristine super clean, like, compared to the grit that we got in these films. I think the special effects stuff they did here is great. It's a lot of practical effects mixed with the digital stuff, but I think they did as much animatronic and model work with the xenomorphs and the face huggers as they could, whenever they could. And it shows, man, there's some really crazy stuff and they don't shy away from the gore, man. It's just like, when it hits, man. There are some really cool scenes in this too, man. There's like a zero gravity scene that's kind of really cool, man. Toward the end, I was like, bro, that's so brilliant. Like I would not have, thought of that, but so like, I don't know, man. Like I don't have no knocks on this film at all, bro. This thing, I'm fully in on it. There are
3 times.
Yeah. There are some things that I think people are nitpicking at. There's some callbacks to the previous scenes, or some of the following, actually the previous film. I don't know, man. People are nitpicking on this stuff, but as a fan, I'm glad they thought of me to give me a wink. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind that kind of stuff, and I don't think it takes me out unless you're really I don't know, man. Unless you're really anal, I can't picture those brief moments to take down this entire 2-hour masterpiece.
Yeah. Overall, I love the film. I wish I kind of saw it a second time, but we've just seen things in this film that we hadn't really seen before in another Alien film. The whole station, the thing about where it was going to crash at. But at one point you think it's going to crash into a planet, but it's like the rings around this planet. And just getting a close up on, those things are made of ice and stuff. And to me, it was pretty much, that was real cool just to see the, big glaciers and stuff in space that thing was going to, make the impact with. Aliens and the face huggers were amazing in this. They are scary again. You know what I'm saying? At one point they were kind of a joke, but just how these things coming at you, especially zero grav and just clouds of or I guess globs of splashes of alien gas.
Man.
That is just amazing. I would have never thought that they would have had anything like that in a film, But.
There's this one character's acid death that blew me away. I was like, whoa, like that's kind of like the way that guy died. I was like, man, that was crazy. That was jacked up. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It like I said, man, it's a film that it manages to give us new stuff. But it also references every damn film that even if there's some stuff in here from Prometheus that gets brought up, man. So it's like, yeah, man, I definitely just want to go back and get back into this world, and honestly, I want more prequels, man. Don't even give me no damn like if we go back to what happened after Alien 3 or what happened after this, well, and like you can just keep bouncing around in that, like you know,
tell stories in between and all that.
Like I like the fact that this thing is it's pretty much an anthology at this point. I mean, we do have some share, especially if you go from Aliens to Aliens, you know, and then Alien 3, that's definitely, you know, sequential type stuff. But I feel like everything else after that, this series easily could just fall into an anthology world, and I'd be totally satisfied with that, man. Especially if you start bring in the Utah or the Predators and shit, and just more crazy stuff, man. Because like I said, man, that time, cryo sleep aspect, it adds so much stuff to this. Yeah, man, it's just cool, man. This is when you go into one of these films and you pay attention to what was done previously. You honor that, and all this also adds your own spin to it, man. You know, I think Feedy did a great job on this, man. You know. Yeah. This is one of my top ones of the year for sure. You know, and I'll probably watch it more times when it comes out, man. So I'm gonna buy this one. And there's some cool behind the scenes stuff that's been coming out lately. So, you know, you might want to see this as soon as you can. So.